A few years ago, scientists made headlines by saying they had found a way to bring dinosaurs back from extinction. The media called it Jurassic Park. It seemed like science fiction had come true. But is it possible to clone a dinosaur? Should we try to do that at all? Here's what you need to know about cloning dinosaurs. We may be capable of bringing dinosaurs back to life. Scientists have been able to extract DNA from fossils of ancient animals that have been dead for hundreds of thousands of years. In 2020, researchers at the University of Copenhagen presented their discovery of an ancient Greenland shark. By extracting DNA from the animal's remains, they were able to sequence its genome. Their findings showed that the DNA was around 1 million years old, much older than any genetic material ever sequenced before. This discovery shows just how long genetic material can survive. And some scientists believe that if we can find well-preserved dinosaur fossils, we may be able to extract their DNA. But where can we get such fossils? Scientists have discovered many dinosaur fossils over the years, but most of them have been lost to time. There are a few reasons for this. First, the fossilization process is rare. Only a tiny fraction of animals that die become fossils. Most of them simply decompose and leave no trace behind. Second, the fossil record is incomplete. Even when fossils do form, they often get destroyed over time due to erosion, tectonic plate movement, or other geological processes. This means that we've only recovered a small fraction of the fossils that once existed. However, paleontologists continue to make new discoveries, and some of these new finds could contain the key to de-extinction. If we can find a well-preserved fossil, maybe even one that's been kept at low temperatures, we might be able to extract usable DNA. But what if we don't have the right fossil? Researchers have found ways to synthesize DNA in the lab and then put it into living cells. For example, scientists have created a bacterium that contains the genetic material of an animal that went extinct 65 million years ago. They did this by taking DNA from a related species and then modifying it until it matched the extinct animal's genome. Once they had the modified DNA, they inserted it into a bacterium, and the microorganism began producing proteins based on the genetic instructions. This shows that we can bring extinct animals back in a sense by using their close relatives as a starting point. And if we can do this with bacteria, we should be able to do it with larger animals. However, this method would require a lot more than just the ability to synthesize DNA. We would also need to find a suitable host species that's closely related to the dinosaur we want to clone. Unfortunately, there aren't any animals alive today that are closely related to dinosaurs, because they all died out 66 million years ago. Some scientists think that birds are the closest thing we have to dinosaurs, but there are significant differences between them, so finding a suitable host species would be difficult. If we manage to find dinosaur DNA or synthesize it in the lab, we could potentially use it to clone the animal. Cloning is a process where an animal is produced from a single cell taken from another animal. This means that the cloned animal would be a genetic copy of the animal that donated the cell. Scientists have been able to clone many different animals using this technique, including sheep, cows, cats, and even dogs. The most famous cloned animal is Dolly the sheep, who was born in 1996 and lived until 2003. To clone Dolly, scientists took a cell from an adult sheep setter and then fused it with an unfertilized egg cell. The resulting embryo was then implanted into a surrogate mother who carried Dolly to term. While cloning animals isn't science fiction, it isn't without its problems. Many cloned animals suffer from health problems, and some don't survive for very long. This is likely due to the fact that the cloning process is imperfect and sometimes causes genetic abnormalities. So even if we were able to clone a dinosaur, it might not live for very long. There are many reasons why we might want to bring back extinct creatures. Maybe we could learn something about them by observing them in their natural habitat, or maybe we could save them from extinction by reintroducing them to the ecosystem. But perhaps the most compelling reason to bring back an extinct creature is simply out of curiosity. After all, we're curious about what dinosaurs looked like, how they behaved, and what role they played in the ecosystem. But this curiosity comes with a cost. When we bring back an extinct creature, we're essentially playing God. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. We need to be sure that we're not doing anything that could jeopardize the existence of other species or disrupt the balance of nature. We also need to be prepared for the possibility that the extinct creature might not behave the way we expect it to. Dinosaurs were alive millions of years ago, and the world was very different then than it is now. We do unknow how they would adapt to our modern environment or how our environment would affect them. There's also the risk that the extinct creature could escape and cause damage. This is why many scientists oppose the idea of bringing back dinosaurs. They argue that it's simply too risky. Even if we could clone a dinosaur, we probably shouldn't. But that doesn't mean that all scientists agree. Some argue that the benefits of bringing back extinct creatures outweigh the risks. They say that if we could bring back dinosaurs in a safe and controlled way, we would learn a lot about them and about ourselves. Others argue that we don't know enough about dinosaurs to risk bringing them back. They say that we don't know how they would behave, or how they would react to the modern world. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to bring back dinosaurs is a moral one. There's no easy answer, and any decision is likely to be controversial. Bringing back extinct creatures is a controversial topic. There are many ethical considerations to take into account, and it's important to weigh the pros and cons carefully before making a decision. What do you think? Should we bring back extinct creatures? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. While scientists may not yet have figured out a way to clone a T-Rex, there are plenty of other amazing discoveries being made in the world of genetics. One of the most exciting recent breakthroughs is the development of CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology. This tool has allowed scientists to modify DNA with unprecedented ease and accuracy. Using CRISPR-Cas9, researchers have been able to correct genetic defects in embryos, modify genes in livestock, and even revive ancient viruses. Another exciting area of genetic research is in the field of synthetic biology. Scientists are learning how to create artificial life forms. In 2010, for example, researchers at the J. Craig Venter Institute created the first synthetic bacterial genome. And in 2015, they published the sequence of the first synthetic cell. These advances are just the beginning. In the future, scientists may be able to create entirely new organisms with specific functions in mind. For example, synthetic biologists are working on creating cells that can produce biofuels or break down pollutants in the environment.
Oh, the possibilities are really endless.
And while some people worry that genetic engineering and synthetic biology could be dangerous, it's important to remember that every new technology has risks. But the potential benefits are just too great to ignore. Genetic engineering and synthetic biology are already having a major impact on our lives, and they're only going to become more important in the future. So it's important to stay up to date on the latest developments in these fields. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing content. Have a great day, and see you next time.